Oh, I lost my job. Oh no. Oh, how am I gonna do the top albums of 2025? I'm jobless, I'm homeless, and I'm friendless. How am I supposed to be able to do? You know what? But the people need it. Even if I have no money, no job, and I'm unemployed as hell, I can still at least have the people do the top 2025 albums. I guess I'll have to host it even if I'm broke and bumless I guess I'll have to host it even though I'm a chop chud or something. For the top 25, oh holy shit, the top albums of 2025, I asked the viewer, all of you, because I don't know any of that shit, and especially now that I'm a bum, I need all your help. So starting off, we have Raiu talking about a Filipino band and their new album. Thank you, Raiu.
Hey, it's me, it's Raiu. So the album that I wanted to like shout out or like talk about in this like video is Andalucia by IV of Spades. So this is a Filipino album by a Filipino band, but there is like one song in English. I think there's only one song, I'm not entirely sure. I can't recall, but there is like an English song by like the second track. It's called Monster. So you non-Filipino listeners, you can like totally listen to that and understand it fine. But for like the rest of the album, it's all in Filipino. There are some like, of course, like some English phrases like mixed in, you know, but generally it's in Filipino because it's a Filipino band and I'm Filipino and I like being Filipino, you know, and I like the Filipino language. 2025 wasn't really a groundbreaking year for music for me. There weren't like a lot of releases that I personally was like super fucking with, that I was like super emotionally attached to, you know. Even like last year, I can immediately recall Smile being a very like emotionally touching album for me, even though I still preferred Nurture over it. So yeah, but this year the release that like really stuck with me, especially like recently, since it released later in the year, it's been in my regular rotation, especially like the song Paro Paro, which is like Paro Paro means butterfly in Filipino, and the whole song is just like talking about having butterflies in your stomach, like this person that you like love. But that's like such a cliche, that's like such a generic thing. But what makes this song and really this entire album special is just like how rich and like beautiful like the instrumentation is. It's really mixed well, and as someone who has discovered that they were like a mixing nerd, someone who like really gave a fuck about like mixing and mastering and just like how the music sounds through like headphones or like earphones. It's like a joyous album to listen to. Like I can really hear the textures, I can really hear like the whatchamacallit, like the instruments being played. I don't really have like the vocabulary right now. I'm just going off the top of my head. Yeah, I really like Andalucia by IV of Spades. That's like my number one album pick of the year. I can't really say because like album of the year, because like I didn't really listen to many new albums that released this year that like really stuck with me. I also like Revenge Seekers, and I listened to a bit of Getting Killed by Geese, and also really actually like Homicide Lifestyle 2 by Homicide Gang. But the release that like is regularly in my rotation, I really enjoy like the context and like idea of, because like the IV of Spades actually like surprisingly came back together. They were like disbanded for like, I don't know, like 5-6 years, something like that, and came back together, and like it took the Philippines, the entire country, by storm. And yeah, it's like the release that I enjoy the most. So I talked for way too long, but I hope everyone has like happy holidays, and like take your fucking meds, and like surround yourself with like good people, and like do something good for yourself, you know, especially in like 2026.
Thank you, Raiu. That was really great. That album sounds awesome. Yup. Next we have maebunnie talking about that 420 weed album. I forgot the name. Anyways, thank you, maebunnie. Here we go.
When I think about the most out of left field and surprising album I experienced this year, my mind immediately goes to Amor de encava by Weed 420, an album that I went into more or less expecting a very unserious and silly album simply going off the name of the collective who made it, but what I ended up getting from this album was unlike anything else I've really heard this year. It's not my favorite per se, but it's definitely like the most unique and exciting thing I've heard this year, at least for my inexperienced ass that has like, I don't know, like 20 albums I listened to in total. It's maybe partially due to the concept of the album, but the entire thing feels like being a kid driving home, fading in and out of consciousness as the sound of radio talk hosts, the tires scraping the road, and assorted music is the only thing you can hear. Songs jump in and out of sounds and styles, constantly into new feelings and moods, and it's hard to even pin down one specific through line between everything. It goes really well with the bus theming of the whole album, like you're staring at a window, barely awake, drooling over all the bright billboards before immediately entering a tunnel and shrouding the bus in darkness, then emerging from it to be greeted by a place you've never even seen before. I feel like that's more what they were trying to go for with this album sound-wise. One thing I love about the sound of this album is how it feels like there's this layer of soothing, distorted fuzz underneath each track that just envelops your ears, and in the most atmospheric and lethargic moments of the album, like the second half of Mala Intención, or El chiste más largo de la historia, it uses these vocals that just soar above the fuzz and create this absolutely entrancing atmosphere. I wish more moments were like this, and on first listen they were probably the most memorable moments for me. This alongside the low bit hex-dish texture of everything just adds to that hazy dreamlike feel of the album. I don't know, this kind of bit crush music to me has this really soothing quality to it with how it's filtered and how it sounds. Also, the way the bass is mixed to completely fill up like half the song's volume is one of my newfound music fetishes in recent times, I can't lie. It's especially mouthwatering on Maluka, which is maybe my favorite song of the whole year, or at the very least high up there. Just genuinely such a beautiful and emotional song while also being really catchy and fun. I also want to single out La Guerra de los Sexos. I really love the vocals on this one during the first half, and the lethargic trip-hoppy drums give it this really hard to describe bittersweet vibe. And shout out to the trap second half as well. Ignoring individual songs though and just looking at it as one entity, it's so easy to get yourself hypnotized into it, and I honestly think that's maybe the best way to experience it. I can't really fully explain why, but Amor de Encava is such a weirdly touching album that makes me feel completely weightless whenever I listen to it, and it's so underrated as well. It got like some traction since it came out really early in the year, and that's how I found out about it. But I really want this thing being talked about more when bringing up best albums of the year, because it really deserves it, and it's one of my absolute favorites. Such a magical and special piece of work to me.
Thank you, Bunny. Maebunnie, that was, I need to check that album out, but you know, first I need to get a job, but I'll check it out eventually. Next we have Phitts, talking about like 5 albums from Bandcamp. This is too niche for me. This isn't my bag, so I'm not going to pretend like it is.
First is Jairus Sharif, Basis of Unity. On the follow-up to the excellent and singular Water and Tools from 2022, Jairus Sharif sheds outer bombast for a journey inward. Simple drones and signal manipulation are the foundation upon which Sharif lays his free jazz improvisations and buries subdued percussion beneath in the mix. This shit is spiritual. Second is Rachel Kitchlew, Flirty Ghost. The mellifluous compositions on this album are lithe and intricate, backed by the amazing jazz percussionist Shoutout. The combination of the harp with a lap steel guitar is truly inspired, and the otherworldly sound earns the album's title. An entry in the harp canon right next to Alice Coltrane and Dorothy Ashby. Next up we have Black Taffy, Out Moon. There is a beautiful air of tragedy that permeates this album. Beneath the swells and sweeps of the orchestral grandeur are deep, lumbering bass movements and sparse percussion, giving it a haunting feeling. There is an ache to the rise and reach of the string samples, as they are stretched and pulled down in the bass-laden abyss. Scout Foxwarren 2. This is a meticulous patchwork of an indie album, composed remotely and built largely out of samples, including old movie dialogue, vintage strings, chopped up piano parts, and whatever else they could find. The Foxwarren boys dropped their slow, sleepy sound for a vibrant and inventive approach that is full of surprisingly great rhythm and danceable tracks. Last up we have Holy Sons, Puritan Themes. Emil Amos characterizes this as a folk album, and although I initially disagreed, I'm starting to understand. Life weighs heavy in these songs, but it can be a deceptively simple sound at first. This record richly rewards repeated replays. Get down with the smoky, atmospheric hopelessness.
Wow, Phitts, thank you. Even though you didn't use the voice, we gotta diversify, okay? So it adds a bit of flair to the video. I appreciate that. Those albums all sound cool, so if you're a Bandcamp fiend, maybe hop on those, I don't know. But next we have, oh shit, who do we got? Next we have lazartlol, I got that right. Talking about a bunch of stuff, a bunch of albums that came out this year, and also just albums they enjoyed this year. So here we go with Lazart.
Mic sync. Okay. Alright. Where'd it go? So I know this wasn't the prompt, but I'm gonna do my honorable... Well, first, biggest letdowns of the year, honorable mentions, and then my favorite album this year. So, alright, biggest letdowns of the year. New Yule album, bro. Holy disappointment, bro. I've been following Yule since, like, 2020. And her ambient shit is so good. And Soft Scars in 2023 was so good. And then we got this pop slot, bro. We got this mid. I think Music by Playboi Carti, like, I wasn't on the edge of my seat or anything, but, like, I don't know, it was Music by Carti. You know, it is what it is, I guess. Bro, new OK Loop, bro. It's so boring. Like, am I not hearing the same album? Like, it's so boring, bro. Anyways, that's a little mean. Eusexua? I'm talking about the original one. I know a new version came out, and I haven't listened to that, but Eusexua, it was fine, bro. It was fine. What else? Bro, biggest fucking letdown of the year, maybe hands down, was Vanisher. Man, I don't know. It's like, it's cool on a first listen, like, oh wow, I didn't expect him to do that. But like, on more listens, there's nothing to the songs. You get nothing out of it. Like, just because an album is trying to convince you that it's deep doesn't mean it's deep, you know what I mean? And that's kind of Vanisher's biggest problem. I don't know, the songwriting's so mid sometimes, especially on like Natural Causes. And when this guy's rapping, bro, also shut that shit up, like, please. Bro, just stick to piano ballads. That shit's fire. You know what I mean? Like, you could stick to your acoustic guitar, weird tunings, and your piano ballads, please. Okay, honorable mentions for 2025. New Pink Pantheress, fancy that. It's a fucking banger. It's a banger mixtape. I know it's a mixtape, but, you know, still a banger. Balloonerism by Mac Miller. I know it's like an archival release, but whatever. New Jane Remover, Revenge Seekers. That one was kind of a banger. I can't even lie. It's not my album of the year. I kind of get it. I kind of get Revenge Seekers. It's kind of banger. I got the signed Swans vinyl. It's not crazy. New Geese, actually, which I actually have on CD, and I have a signed little postcard because I went to a listening party. There's a bomb in my car. There's a bomb in my car. I'm Cameron Winter. I'm fucking stupid. Wow. And then new McKinley Dixon was a banger. I listened to Beloved Paradise Jazz when that came out, and like, bro, hearing A Magic Alive, like, yo, there's never been a better time to be a McKinley Dixon fan. New Skrillex, bro. New Skrillex is based. New Skrillex is based as fuck. New Skrillex is so good. Maybe if we're going to the fun answer, if we're doing a silly one, then I think new Skrillex is the album of the year, bro. Like, I can't even lie. But no, I'm gonna choose the more serious album for my album of the year, and it's the new Jid. I know a lot of people have been underrating this one, but I'm gonna sound so white, bro. This is the whitest shit I've ever done. I think the problem is that he released the Forever Story first and then this one, whereas he should have released this one first and then the Forever Story, because I'm not gonna bullshit. Like, the Forever Story is better, bro. Like, the Forever Story is better than this. But all these songs are good. Like, it's not perfect. I think instead of 15 songs, it could have been cut down to like 10 or 12, right? But what you get on here, like the song No Boo is a fucking slapper. That could have been a single. I don't know why he didn't make No Boo a single when it's the most fucking single to ever single. And then he made the song Work a single. Like, when I heard Work as a single, I was like 6-7, it's all right. Like, but what am I doing actually? But yeah, I think that's my album of the year. This is what I've listened to the most from this year as well. Oh shit, from this year as well. Honestly, bro, this album art, holy watercolor. Like, anyways, okay, so the last little segment, this will be really short. These are my favorite albums that I listened to this year, but not that came out this year. This is very recent, but I got My Favorite Things by John Coltrane. This is maybe my favorite Coltrane. Bro, it reminds me of Christmas. Like, this is like a Christmas jazz album almost. I don't know how to explain it. Since I Left You, I have the vinyl of this as well. Since I Left You, bro, generational album. Oh my god. Like, how do you make art this pretty? Like, one of my favorite. This is a November album. If you know what I mean. If you listen to this is a November and December album. I already mentioned this one. This one's pretty good. I don't think it's as good as people are hyping it up to be, though. I like this album for its production, and like, some of his lyrics are really good. But dude, Cameron's like, I woke up this morning and I ate cereal. No, he would sound like, I woke up this morning and I ate cereal. Or some shit. Geese fans on Twitter are like, oh my god, where do I start? It sounds pretty, and I like his production, and I like Drinking Age a lot. I don't think every song is like perfection, you know what I mean? I think it's just really good, and I like it. But y'all need to calm the fuck down. He's a white guy, bro. Lamau. I listened to this a lot in 2024. Honestly, bro, I'm still listening to this shit a lot. Those who throw objects at the crocodiles will be asked to retrieve them. This is my favorite jazz album. Like, straight up. Galaxy and Ya Ya Breathe is the 2 greatest pieces of music like ever conceived. The best 2-track run. Bro, the concept of a 2-track run is killing me. But I went to the lamp show at Disney. It was at House of Blues. I got a rare little vinyl. It's the Lamp Genzo, or I think it's Lamp Genzo. I think it has 2 names. And then this is my favorite album that I listened to this year. Crumbling by Midair Thief. I think this was the best thing I maybe ever did for myself, was invest time into listening to Midair Thief. I think if I were to put it into one word, it'd be rewarding. Like, this is the most like rewarding album to give repeat listens to. Like, it's so jaw-dropping. Like, seriously. Yeah, I think it's maybe one of my favorite albums ever of all time, and I listened to it a lot in this year. So yeah, this was my album of the year. I know that was the whole point of this album of the year. But this one's better. Even though it didn't come out this year. I'm sweating. Anyways, I'm gonna end this here. Alright, bye.
Wow, thanks Lazar, that was awesome. God, I don't got a job. I guess I'll have to start selling Bitcoin or something. Would you guys buy my meme coin if I started one? And last up, we have Jam talking about 4 albums that they really loved this year. Thank you for the submission, Jam. Let's see what they are.
So I'm going to be covering 4 albums that I really liked this year and giving them sort of micro reviews. First one, someone actually from the Discord server, Samson. It's the project has 2 names. It's either Clear Eyes 2005 or Memories from the 2000s onwards. On my computer, it's saved as Memories from the 2000s onward. So I'm going to be covering 4 albums that I really liked this year and giving them sort of micro reviews. But it's the album Nintendo Life. It's this really great ambient album that came out this year. It brings in almost the Brian Eno's like view of ambient music, where it has to be interesting enough that when you pay attention to it, you can enjoy and find depth in it, but not too interesting that it pulls your attention away. And I think Samson did like a great job with like kind of balancing the two, because it's such a good like ambient album. I listen to it a lot when I study, and there's some nice bit crushing on it, and it takes in like old, I think, Wii sounds. It reminds me of the Wii. I believe it's sampling the Wii. I'm not sure, but it's so kind of special, and it's very nostalgic, and it just feels almost like a warm hug of music. I don't have a better way to explain it. The second album is by Hesse Kassel, I believe that's how it's pronounced, and it's La Brea. They're I guess a post-punk sort of BCNR Black MIDI inspired band from Chile, and it's great. It's kind of better than Black Country New Road by a long shot, in my opinion. The lyrics, because I don't speak much Spanish, I don't really understand the lyrics much or at all. The instrumentation's kind of better, and I like it because sometimes I feel like almost they were inspired by JRPG elements through a lot of their piano breakdowns. It harkens back to kind of the music of Final Fantasy, I feel. And it's so cool, and they're post-punk. There's hard sections, there's soft sections, there's nice piano. You can be rocking out 1 minute and just chilling back to another. They really balance it. Every song feels like 4 songs. It's almost classical with the amount of movements they have, and it's a great album all in all. My favorite song is the second one, Anova, because there's this part where all the band members come in and harmonize, and it's just very emphatic. It's really anthemic as well. It's just a great moment on the album, and I think it's really special. And then another one is Hyperion by Paula Haunt. This is, I believe the word is a tracker artist, where they use old tracker software from like the 80s, 90s to make their music. The name is based off the Paula chip for the Amiga, if I recall, and this is just a really great sort of tracker music. It has lots of really diverse different grooves, and although it's not my favorite by his, which is Nude Rugs, very, very great project, just throwing that out there, it's really good. And it fits in the sort of background music, good grooves, some nice sort of IDM elements, drum and bass a bit. I'm not quite sure the genre. I'm just going to call it tracker music, but there's a lot of samples, a lot of everything, really. It's electronic tracker music is good. And then the final album, I can't really pronounce it. I think it's in a conlang, and the artist is from Quebec, which means it's French Canadian. So I'm going to try my best to pronounce this. I am Canadian, but I learned French when I was like maybe 10, and I think I failed that class actually, which I don't even know if you're allowed to do that here, but I don't remember learning any, but I graduated. And it is coffret de bijoux, if I'm getting that right. It's been a while. And the album title, which I'll try my best to pronounce here for you, is intablej ou Anna. It's not in English or French. She's very inspired by sadness, but what I like about it is there's more, I want to say shoegazy elements, but she also mixes in screamo and electronic, and I really like when the songs have these electronic breaks. In track 1, there's my favorite bit where it breaks down to an electronic bit where she sings in her upper register, and it almost shifts away from like a hard screamo song to like a nice, softer, electronic kind of, I want to say like power pop moment, and I really appreciate that. I think it's really cool how she mixes genres. And similar to what I assume is her biggest inspiration, Sadness, or Damien Ojeda, is she pumps out a lot of music. Like, so much music has been released this year. A lot of black metal artists seem to do that. So there seems to be no end to what you can listen from her. And I appreciate that a lot. I think it's really cool. And this is my favorite project by her. Those are my sort of 4 mini reviews for this year. Thank you.
Bob Jam, that was really great. Those albums sound awesome. If only I could afford some headphones and I wasn't broke. And anyways, thank you all for submitting for the 2025 albums of the year. What you thought it was, the viewer, not Anthony Fantano, not Brad Taste anymore. His ass got arrested for domestic abuse. Podcast. That's what the viewers want. The viewer album of the year. So I appreciate it. And hopefully I can get a job so next year we're not in this situation. Anyways, thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.
On a serious note, though, thank you to the Discord where all these submissions came from. All these people are in the normal core Discord, which will be in the description, so feel free to join for our music community. I like to do stuff like this at the end of the year, sort of kind of get everybody involved. So thank you to everybody who submitted. Thank you to Raiu, maebunnie, Phitts, lazartlol, and Jam. And yeah, check out the Discord. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite album of 2025 was. Yeah, I hope you have a good end of the year, and I don't fucking know.